Well, hello and welcome back to the Healing Waters broadcast. So happy that you have found me today. Whether you are, joining me for the first time, or if you have been following the Healing Waters broadcast for a while, welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you that are just finding this broadcast, let me introduce myself. I am Marie Kennedy Groves. I am a mom of two amazing kids that are young adults at this point. I have a grandson that I adore. I'm a life coach. I am an entrepreneurial minded individual. I have businesses that I am a part of and that I own. And I am a mindset warrior. I think words that come out of your mouth are extremely powerful. I'm an intention setter. I love, 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 love creating amazing life experiences. And I have purpose on my back. And I do all of this powered by God. So, my disclaimer to the Healing Waters broadcast into the series on relationships that I'm doing, but not just this series. Everything that we talk about on here, I'm very raw and I'm very real. I like to talk about real issues, real life, real things that I'm dealing with. Because I have come to know that if there are things I'm dealing with, there are a bazillion other people out there dealing with the same thing. And I don't know if you're like me, but I get real tired of social media and just seeing everybody putting their best foot forward. And I get it. I do the same. But this broadcast is a broadcast where we get real with each other. And we uncover the mess and we work through the mess together. I share with you what I've learned and why I'm at the point that I'm at in my life because of what I've learned through coaches, therapy, counseling, experiences, my own mistakes, my own failures, my own mess. Is the reason I'm here today. And it's the reason that I'm living an abundant life. So let me share with you. I am not for everybody. There are going to be things that you hear me say that you may not agree with, and that is okay. You may be offended by some of my beliefs from what I have experienced in life. Turn me off. I'm not here to offend you. I'm here to be real, raw, and relevant. The 3 R's: real, raw, and relevant. So what's not talked about, and if you've caught prior broadcasts on this relationship series, what I have shared with you is I'm a church girl, okay? Grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor. I was the girl that was made to go to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and anything that was going on in between. So I come from a very religious background, okay? I was raised in an amazing home with lots of love I have an amazing family. We were raised very, very conservative. And so a lot of the stuff that I share comes from not just my background growing up, but as I left home and became an adult and had to find my own way, the things that I learned through the church world. I have a lot of good things that I can say about the church world, a lot of good things. But can I be honest? I don't know if I have ever witnessed the amount of hurt and ugliness. Do you see my dog? He wants to say hello to the people. I've seen more ugly in the church than I have seen in out there in the real world. Can I be honest? I mean, I told you we're keeping this real, raw, and relevant. Am I saying that everything that happens in the church is hurtful and wrong? No, 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 no. Not at all. Not in the least. That's not what I said. Do not take that out of context. What I am saying, that there is some ugliness that happens in the church, all under the umbrella of church and religion, can be ugly, hurtful, and right down criminal. There is more spiritual abuse that goes on than anybody cares to admit. So, I say that because I want you to understand that I'm the church girl, okay? I'm the church girl. I'm not bashing church. I'm not bashing religion. I'm being very real. And if you're one of those people who have been hurt by the church, who have been abused by religion, and you're trying to find your way, I get you. You're not a bad person. You're not all the things they say about you, okay? They're not. You're an amazing person. You have experienced the ugly of religion and church. But what I can tell you is there is healing for all of that. You too can live an abundant life. Do not walk away from the church mad, angry, bitter. Obviously, you're going to have those emotions. And that's fair. With what you've been through, that is fair. But what I'm here to tell you is that there's healing and peace and abundance outside of what you've experienced. And that's what I'm hoping to share with you and give you, that there's hope beyond that. The thing I've said about this relationship series is that in the church world, they post their flag on the hill of no sex before marriage, but they do not share with you, they do not tell you how to date, to find your person. And I want to talk about those things because these are the things I wished someone would have talked to me about. And what people really don't talk about is, if you're a single mom or you're single again, how in the world do you navigate those dating waters. So we are going to take a short commercial break, and then we are going to come back and we are going to talk about how to vet men. Okay? My broadcast is directed towards women. So men, if you are watching, you can use a lot of these things on the flip towards vetting women as well. But for the sake of my broadcast, I speak to the women. All right, we will be right back. Okay, and we are back to talk about the subject of how to vet men when you're dating. So I know that we live, this is 2023, that this broadcast is coming to you. I know in this day and time that the dating sites are at an all-time high. I know there is some crazy that goes on the dating sites. There is dating sites for anything and everything. If you are a married person looking to have an affair, there's a dating site for that. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. I'm not even, don't ask me how I know that. Do not ask me how I know that. What I will tell you is, you may ask, why do I think that I'm the expert on relationships? I do not think I am the expert on relationships. I do think I can speak to the relationship area because of these things. Number one is my experience. I have been married 2 times. I have been a single mom for over 10 years dating, and that is not for the faint of heart. And my third reason is about 4 years ago, I did not like what I kept getting in relationships. I did not feel like I did relationships well. Now, I could sit there and point at every relationship I have and say, well, they were this and they were that and they didn't do this and blah, 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 blah. But you know what the common denominator in all of those relationships were? Me. Me. Am I giving these men a free pass? No. But I am owning my part. So I had to ask myself, what am I doing wrong in relationship? So I started studying a lot about relationships. I sought out a relationship coach that I am still connected to. She has taught me so much. My spirit connects with her. I get her. And she has had a lot of life experience. So she speaks from experience as well. And she has helped me so much. So I am going to share with you some things I've learned from her, along with things I have personally learned. And I just pray that you grab some nuggets from this that will change the way you date, will change the way that you are vetting the men that you're talking to. Okay? So, when you meet somebody, whether it's on an app, well, let's talk about an app first of all. If you meet somebody on an app and there's some mutual interest in that, in that person, one thing that my relation coach taught me is get that conversation off the app as soon as possible. Because you can't truly get to know somebody off of an app. Anybody can put anything out there on their profile. Anything. They can pretend to be anybody. But you get them off that app and you start getting to know that person, they can only fake it for so long. So once you start, maybe you're going out on dates with this person and you're getting to know this person. These are some things that you want to look for and you want to be very aware of. Don't be blind to this stuff, because this tells a story about this person. Listen to how they talk about their other relationships. Whether they've been married before, listen how they talk about their ex-wife. Listen to how they talk about other girlfriends. Is it always their fault? Well, they were crazy. They were drama. They were blah. They were that. And they're never taking responsibility for the relationship not working? Red flag, red flag. Huge red flag. That means they are never going to take responsibility for ever doing anything wrong in a relationship. It's not good. If they're always talking to you about the drama that's happening around them, whether it's drama at work, drama with friends, they go out and there's drama. Red flag, red flag. Because if there's drama everywhere they're going, the common denominator is them. Look at their friend group. How do they react with their friend group? Do they have a lot of friends? Do they have just a few friends? Do they have just a few really great friends? Just look at that. That tells you a lot about an individual. If they allow you to meet their friends and you see the quality of friends that they're hanging around, tells you big story. If they are hanging around a party group of boys that party all the time, always going out, always partying, always partying. Red flag, red flag. It's going to get really, really old in a relationship. And let me tell you something, they could say, oh, I'm done with all that. The boys are going to call enough times. And all of a sudden, they're going to feel like they're missing out on something out there. And if they're hanging around a party group, what I can promise you is that there's not a lot of integrity and morals in a party group. And sooner or later, they're going to be caught in situations that are not going to work out real well for your relationship. Just saying. What do they do in their downtime? I mean, are they productive in their downtime? Or is there kind of like this lazy streak where, you know what? Now everybody needs their me time. And I'm not saying you have to be doing something all the time, but watch what the pattern is there. Are they, is their downtime just always doing absolutely nothing, never cleaning up, never staying on top of laundry and just the normal life things? Tells a story. Are they uber confident or seem like they display uber confidence in certain areas that you're just kind of like, I mean, they just, oh yeah, let me tell you one thing, I'd never, and they just are, just display this uber confidence. I promise you, an area that they are over the top confident in and have to keep trying to convince you of how confident they are in this area, red flag, red flag. They are actually overcompensating for an immense insecurity that they actually have in that area. How do I know these things? Kindness. Do they reflect kindness? Are they kind to you? And not even you. I mean, yes, absolutely they need to be kind to you. But just when you're out on dates, are they kind to the waiter or the waitress? Do they tip well? Or are they always complaining about the food not being right and everything not right? And I'm get the manager and red flag. Red flag. Let me tell you something. Watch how they treat other people. And that will tell you a lot about how they're going to treat you in the future. Kindness. I'm a big one on humor. I love to laugh. I think it keeps life fun and light-hearted because life can be very heavy. So I'm a big humor person. So my humor can be kind of corny and I'm trying to think of the other word, kind of sarcastic. That's the word I'm looking for. So I throw out my humor just to see. I mean, can they handle it? Do they find it funny? Do they find me funny? Because if you don't find me funny, I understand I'm not for everybody. But this is who I am. And if you don't find that funny, we really are not going to be a good fit for each other. Because I'm just really going to be annoying to you. So humor. What type of humor do they have? Can they laugh at themselves? Huge for a long-term relationship. Can they laugh at themselves? Can they take themselves lightly? And how do they respond when things don't go right? Oh my gosh, that tells a huge story. How do they respond when things don't go right? Not just between the two of you, yes, between the two of you, but how do they respond when something doesn't go right at work? Or something falls apart at the house? Watch how they respond to these things. Tells a lot about a person. Remember, you're vetting to see if this is your person, to see if this is somebody you really want to do life with or not. Financial decisions. How are they making financial decisions? Are they a spender? Do they just go out and just buy lavish stuff and all the time and just never? I mean, are they just tight, so tight that they want you to pay for the meal when you go out? I mean, both of those are on both sides of the spectrum, but both of those can be huge red flags. Both of them. So is there a happy medium there? They're ethical decisions. Are they ethical? I mean, do you see them at work or if they're working from home? That happens a lot nowadays. Or even just in a little situation where you're at a store and maybe the clerk didn't catch an item that was in your cart. What's their ethical decision? Well, their fault. I didn't try to hide it from them. It was right there and they missed it. It's the little things. In the parking lot, do they take the cart and put it back in the cart place, or do they just leave it in the middle of the parking lot? Do they just leave it out? It's a respect thing. I'm a big thing, and you can ask my boyfriend. We've had a very long conversation about this, but I'm a big one for trash. Don't litter. Don't litter. Don't throw your trash out the window. I have an issue with that, because what that's saying is you're just entitled to somebody else picking up your trash. That's an entitled mentality. That's a I don't care mentality. Don't do it. I can't date somebody that is so entitled that they feel they can throw trash anywhere and everywhere, and that somebody else can just pick up after them. That's not who I want to be with. I need somebody that has some ethics about the little things, because that says a lot about the big things. So I've run out of time, but this is just talking about how to vet a man. I wish somebody had told me how, or taught me about how to vet a man when you begin dating them. I'm going to be honest with you. If I had known, can I be honest? And I'm not saying that my first and second husband are bad people. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, if I had loved myself properly, like I should have, like I do now, and if I had been taught how to vet men, I would not have married either one of those men. Not because they're bad men, but because they're not the right fit for me. They're not the right fit for me. We were on two completely different planets, but nobody taught me how to vet that out before marrying them. I hope this has been helpful to you. Subscribe, and we will be back next week to talk about how to walk away faster from BS. See you later.